Alright, welcome on in, guys. Welcome on in. Yeah, today is kind of an exciting day. New EP drops at midnight tonight. Of course, I'm talking about the highly anticipated Snack Time for Turtles album. This is the title track, by the way. This is Snack Time for Turtles. It is up on Bandcamp right now. But yes, welcome on in, guys. Welcome on in. Today we are mixing a track down. And actually, we're mixing down the last remaining song for my upcoming 26-track album, The Low Key Plan. So it's a big day for a lot of reasons, you know? But yes, welcome on in, guys. Welcome on in. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. And yeah, definitely go check out Snack Time for Turtles. If you guys are trying to find me on platforms, I am TapDaddy on all platforms. And yeah, Snack Time for Turtles drops tonight at midnight. I'm so excited for it. But yes, man, I'm glad. I feel like I stuck the landing on this song in terms of like, I don't know. So like Snack Time for Turtles, I had that title just like written down on my phone for like the longest time. And I don't know why I wrote it down. I don't even remember writing it down on my phone. I just had it written down in my, song names section of my, of my phone. But not only that, it was like under the EPs and albums titles section. So of course I was like, I gotta make an EP called Snack Time for Turtles. And here it is, Snack Time for Turtles. I love it. But anyways, we should dive into it. Let's just get in with our first listen through of what we are mixing down today. I'll put the pause there. I'll just drop this in chat for anybody that might want to go check it out on Bandcamp. There's the link to it. And let's hop back over to Ableton. All right, so this track that we're mixing down today, this will probably be kind of a short one, honestly. It's about like 2 minutes long, Not too complicated of a track, although there will be some hurdles, I predict, in this. Mainly the drums. I think there's going to be a lot of work done on the drums today. This is kind of a dramatic ballad, I suppose I would say, in terms of the overall Low Key Plan album. So without further ado, let's give it our first listen through and see what we are working with today. Already, I know those kicks are going to be something that we're going to really have to work with. Not sure I like the timing of that hi-hat. We might do a little touch-up on the production. That one sounded better. Hey, what's up, Reeve? How you doing, dude? Chillin', man. Woo, I love that arrival point. Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. But yeah, how you doing, man? We're mixing this track down today. Ooh, yes, we got this. Ah, that is so beautiful. That's that double string bass. That's nice. Let's hear this exit though. Okay, I like that. I did cut down this track. It was originally about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, kind of going on 4 minutes. It was just a little bit too long, you know? I feel like this is a way better track, just like cut down to about 2 minutes. I think at the full arrangement, it was sounding a little... At the full arrangement, it was sounding a little dreary, a little bit like a death march, right? And I mean, it still is dramatic as all hell. But I feel like 2 minutes, man, and it feels very, like, just very dramatic, you know, and I can really appreciate it so much more. But yeah, what's up, Light Clothes? How you doing, man? Yo! How's life treating you, man? How's life treating you? Welcome on in. I'm glad you got here just in time, man. We're just now diving into this. But yeah, Reeves says not much at the moment. It's 3 a.m. Oh, damn, that's what's up. Wow, it is late for you. Yeah, where in the world? I feel like I have no idea. It's hard to keep track of where everybody's from. But yeah, no, that's, you know, late night just watching people mix. I can't knock it. But yeah, Reeve says, I found out to get more clicks on your music is to keep it shorter and to increase click rate. Ooh, yeah, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of reasons for that. Yes, have people wanting to replay it. You see, you got the right idea. I think, look, in general, I think it is never a bad thing to leave people wanting more, okay? Like, I don't know. I think that so often are we, like, really looking on, you know, so often are we, like, holding the audience hostage with a super long arrangement, and I think it's better if you just, like, let people get on to the next song. You know, it's like your discography as a whole is a lot more snappy. It's a lot more engaging if you are concise with your arrangements, you know? Now, I don't think that means that you shouldn't have 6-minute long tracks. You know, I think that you absolutely should. I think really what I'm getting at here is like concise, you know, conciseness. And when it comes to arranging, the more concise you can be, like, that's really where it is. So, like, I always use, like, Bohemian Rhapsody as a good example of a concise 7-minute long song, right? It's 7 minutes, but it's jam-packed with a lot of good stuff in there. And quite honestly, there's no arrangement of Bohemian Rhapsody that couldn't be 7 minutes. That's a concise 7-minute long song. I don't know. But yeah, Australia. Oh, hell yeah. Damn. That's what's up. I feel like that's a tough time zone for my stream. I've only met like a handful of people in our community from Australia, and it's like, yeah, you guys are either like, you know, up at 3 a.m. or waking up early at 5. Man, I can respect the dedication, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, light clothed, loving life. I love to hear that, man. All right, let's dive into this. I think first and foremost, I want to, before we really get in with our gain staging, and if we hear like little things, like I did here, I think this needs to come up. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, yeah, we'll do like some light gain staging stuff, but really what I want to do is dive in with these drums. These kicks aren't doing it for me. They kind of lack punch. I don't think it's, well, it could be volume as well, and we'll probably bring up the volume on these drums, but I think that they just don't kind of have the impact, you know, they feel a little weak. They sound a little flat. We might boost the lows a little bit as well. Just because they feel a little bit more mid-range. But one thing at a time. I'm always telling you guys, one thing at a time. You know, we don't want to get super out of hand with it. Let me take off this drum bus for a second. Oh, wow. I'm thinking we might potentially, like, completely undo, like a different approach for the drum bus, you know? Like, we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of thinking we bust out. I think I'd produced this track before I really had my hands on Decapitator. And I think that might work better. But yeah, Reeves says Drake tried to do a 7-minute song. All he did was mash trap song and merge a drill song in one track to stretch to 7 minutes. That's like, I'm not a huge fan of that. I will say something kind of similar to that. And I think this was kind of interesting. Probably not what, us artists should really be doing. But Tyler, the Creator, used to drop these singles that were 3 songs wrapped into one, and he would even put in the title 3 different titles, right? And he said that the reason why he did that was because he, for the free users on Spotify, he didn't want ads popping up between those songs. Like, he was adamant that those songs needed to be played back to back to back, and that's how he intended for people to hear those, right? So that's why he dropped, like, I don't know, like, he had a couple songs that were like 7 minutes long, 9 minutes long, but it's actually like 3 songs that he is like basically being like, no, I am deciding for you that you're going to hear all 3 of these back to back to back. I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of cool. And also I think that that's kind of interesting to see a big artist giving thought to free listeners on Spotify. I don't know. I've never really seen artists prioritize free listeners like that. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was smart. I think that's very against the grain of like what, you might be looking to do from a strategy standpoint of like, increasing your stream count or whatever. But he's fucking Tyler, the Creator. He can do what he wants, right? All right. So, I'm thinking, here's what we're going to do. So I had old drums. I swapped the kick. These are the new drums. I'm just curious. Oh, yeah, those are even more mid-range. These are at least a little less mid-range, but... Yeah, you see, when I turn off that drum bus, we get a lot more of the lows there. Let's bust out Decapitator. We are going to have to bring this back up to full volume, but right now I need to kind of shape it. And I had this dash of pawpaw on it. God, what the hell was I doing here, man? What's on my snare? Yeah, that's the pawpaw. Okay, so... I'm thinking instead of this pawpaw as well, let's get this over here. Here's what we're going to do. Just so that we can kind of set this aside and not worry about it. Let's group these. This was our old chain. I guess I'll turn these on, right? So that we can, kind of mess with that. We'll turn that off, just showing you guys. That's what it sounded like beforehand, right? But then... we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn Decapitator on. This is going to be our new chain over here. We might just really rely on the gain staging to bring this up, but really what I'm hoping for is for these kicks to kind of like thump up a little bit, that's really what I was hoping to do here. Let's get this gain staged a little bit better first of all, so we can just hear ourselves. Let's see, utility, bringing this down. We'll put this before the Decapitator probably. But yeah, Decap is my go-to saturator plugin. I got you. Yeah. No, that's been mine. And Radiator. Love Radiator as well. In fact, I use them in combo with each other a lot, But yeah. Oh, also, I see Reeves says I kind of want to get 2 monitors to have one screen with all my mixer channels and the other that only shows my playlist to reduce the amount of clutter on my screen. I feel you. Yeah, and that's the setup I have right here. I've got I've got you guys over here on, I've got all my streaming stuff here. I've got, Ableton open over here. What is nice is when I am doing things like sequencing, and really, my wife actually sequences a lot of my music. She works pretty closely with me on a lot of this music. But yeah, I like to have more screen space. I like to have one that is dedicated to the digital audio workspace, and then something that's just like, I can do other stuff. I can talk with you guys. I can watch, videos or whatever. I can do whatever work on the other side. Hey, what's up, Nix? How you doing? Nick's daddy here. What's up, dude? He's like, guess who's kinda alive? Hey, hell yeah, man. Kinda alive? I'll take that. How's your day going, dude? It's good to see you, man. All right. Okay, it's slight, but these kicks have a little bit more thump to them now. I think these need to just come up, though. And now this is getting a little bit out of hand with the decapitator. Maybe we'll do this. Yeah, we'll boost the signal on the other side of decapitator. But yeah, you'll take the kind of alive. Yeah, I'll take the kind of alive. Nix and peace, If that's what we got, I'll take it, man. Okay, and kind of the idea behind these kicks is I kind of want them to feel like a heartbeat, but you guys will notice it's like very sporadic, right? You think there might be some imagery there, some poeticism in that, an unsteady heartbeat. Oh my gosh. Getting so dramatic with this song, but I love it, man. This is such a dire track, and it's beautiful, man. I've got a lot of moments like this on this album. This album, I feel like I'm curious what my listeners are gonna think, because I make such like happy chill hop kind of stuff, and this album is like, it's called the low-key plan, I think it really is like kind of a combination of, I guess, like, it's some of the stuff people know me for, jazzy boom bap kind of stuff, some very luxurious kind of like jazzy stuff. It's also got like quite a bit of like G-funk on this album, like lots of kind of hustler music, I would say. Kind of gives off some hustler vibes, and then lots and lots of like really, really dramatic kind of stuff kind of in this vein. And I like it a lot, But yeah. But yeah, Reeves saying, I'm trying to develop muscle memory in my fingers to start using MIDI recordings on my MIDI controller, and I can never work it out. Really? Yeah, so are you just talking about, just getting used to using your MIDI controller? Yeah, he says, programming the sounds to the pads is easy, but recording the MIDI in one take is hard. Gotcha. Yeah, and that's really where it comes down to the musicianship, right? Whether you're like, trying to actually like play piano keys, or if you're trying to even just do like sampling, it's I think that it's something that you just get muscle memory for, like you were saying, just over the course of time. The more that you make music, the more beats that you make, the more time spent in your DAW, the more you kind of grow both intuition and muscle memory for like a lot of these things, So yeah, no, I feel you. That's a good goal to have in mind. Okay. So we had one hi-hat in here that I wasn't quite vibing with, and I wanted to see what was going on. Yeah, why the fuck did that happen? Like, pardon my French. Why? Why was that early, man? Okay, I'll just switch that. That's easy. That still feels early. What's going on here? Oh, no, that's not the right one. That's... I need to start clicking up here. But yeah, you guys hear that? That feels a little bit early, you know? Yeah, we crying with this one. Absolutely, you know? Quantizer, I hardly know her. Am I right, fellas? Yeah. I don't know why that just feels early. Surely it's got to be something. Let me just bring this back a bit. That feels a lot better to me. It's not perfect, but I like it a lot more. Oh, and these kicks are feeling a lot better. I still think they could use a little bit more low. Let's do this. But yeah, Color says, I wonder if I could make something completely unquantized and still make it sound good. You know, I will say the key to that is if you can get some good drum pads. Yeah, and I do a lot of stuff that is completely unquantized. I feel like only recently have I been quantizing a lot of stuff. But if you get something with like some nice pads like this, you know, then you could play around with like finger drumming and just like, I don't know, it makes it a whole world easier to do, to work unquantized, you know. And then of course, if you got your keys, you got your MIDI keyboard, like you're golden, man. You can absolutely do it. And you still might need to shift around the notes, you know. You're not going to lay down everything perfect. You're not going to like how everything hits, you know, not all the time. But I have total faith that you could, you know. It's very like, in fact, I think in a lot of cases it's almost better because you kind of get that human feel, right? A little bit of humanness. But I will say, I hear a lot of people sometimes, the biggest pitfall that they have when they start to try to do stuff like that is they don't clean up their recording. They don't clean up their MIDI notes. You know, if they play something out of time and they go, good enough. And then they move on to the next layer and the next layer. And before you know it, it just sounds like a jumbled mess because you're stacking mistakes on top of mistakes and top of mistakes. And I think it's like, you don't want to find yourself there. It doesn't need to be perfectly on the grid, but at the same time, this is where I really encourage you to like use your ears. You know, if something sounds wrong, if something just feels like, I don't like how that doesn't sound tight, you know, that doesn't sound good. Like, you can just kind of nudge it any which direction, regardless of where it's lining up in the grid, right? So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on producing completely unquantized, you know, is it's like, you can do it. Just make sure that you're tight with it, you know? Just make sure, you know, and I think it really is just like use your ears, right? I want to bring the snare up just like a little bit, but let's get to this kick. To be honest, some of the ambient tracks I make, they completely not even following the BPM. There you go. Yeah, sometimes you don't need it. All right. there. And I am curious, so this is quite a long tail. Usually what I'm doing when I'm like really kind of adjusting the tails of a snare like this that has a long reverb tail, I'm purposefully trying to kind of set it to the BPM such that like it's pretty much died out before the next snare hit comes around. That's just personally my mark of what I'm looking for here. No reason in particular, that's just how I like it. I mean, I guess reason in particular is it can be a little bit muddy if you don't, but... But it does need a little bit of length to it, so it feels natural. There we go. All right. Now, we've turned off this. I don't know why I had a hall reverb on the full kit. I think that's kind of silly. What I do want to pull out. So, I think Super Plate is going to be what I want to pull out for just like the overall reverb for the drums. I did just download Valhalla's Vintage Verb. That might be cool. I'm not sure though. I haven't pulled it out. Do I need to like license it? That would be, let's just play around with it. I haven't messed with it. What the fuck? Cool. Oh, this might be a cool plugin for this. I really haven't played with Vintage forever. I've seen it everywhere. I don't know why I haven't downloaded it sooner. Oh, demo version. Okay. That's why. I am considering, though, this plugin. It looks really nice. I actually downloaded it on accident while I was trying to get Supermassive. Like, this is interesting stuff. Okay, well, let's not use a demo version plugin on our nice, beautiful mix. Let's pull out Supermassive, which we do have. And that's a Super Plate. That's what I was going for. Sorry, I was just talking about Supermassive. Ooh, this is kind of what I'm looking for here. Now, you guys will notice this actually, I've kind of changed my tune about including reverb on kicks, okay? I, for the longest time, have been preaching, to kind of like, exclude that kick from your reverb. Like, we don't want all this muddiness in the low end, but I think when it comes to like room reverbs, kind of stuff like that, stuff that's supposed to be subtle, I've actually enjoyed a little bit of verb on my kick to make it feel a little bit more full. And I think that this is a good example of it. Okay, that's width. Let's toggle it on and off. I've got the toggle down here, by the way. See? Like, it kind of feels a little bit more full like that, right? God, that is beautiful. So I turned that double bass mono. I'm just curious real quick. I want to hear this. Yeah, why did I have that mono? I mean, I know it's like panned off to the right. I do kind of want that more center. We'll have to think about that. Let's turn that back on for now. You know. And just make sure that we're happy with these drums real quick. Okay, so two things that I was kind of thinking. What if we pulled out the 1176 compressor just for the snare? And we give it like all attack and no release. Make it kind of snappy. We'll do that before the reverb. We don't want to, compress that reverb. This might just give us a little bit more satisfaction on this snare. Let's play with it. But then I'm also kind of thinking we might squeeze it. Just a slight squeezing of, now that we've got all this reverb, now that we've got all these, drums sounding the way that we want with decapitator and all that, we could squeeze the drums ever so slightly with a little bit of LA2A compression. So we're using two universal audio compressors here, but this 1176, the FET, we're only going to use on the snare. So let's see. We are going to go all attack, no release. Okay, now that really brought down the volume, and I could be messing with these, but I like how it's sounding right now, so I'm going to just pull out a utility and just boost it after, right here. And just to kind of like show you guys the difference, I just grouped these together. Let's toggle it on and off. I'm actually not sure about this 1176 on here. This I kind of had the idea for this because this sounded really amazing on some trap snares that I was playing with the other day. And this snare kind of reminded me just the thinness of it, of the trap snare. Let's use this as an opportunity to experiment though. Oh, yeah, maybe we go no attack. Okay, I forgot about this. So, see, my knob is turned all the way up here on the attack. This actually means no attack on this 1176. One of you guys told me this the other day, because this is a new compressor to me. I'm still learning about it, right? So this is actually no attack, all release. Yeah, you can see that. See how long it takes on the release? But the attack is like quick. So, oh, sorry, callers. Yeah. Yeah, he says, all right, well, you have a good rest of your stream. Yeah, have a good one, man. Says, I need some good rest, and it's Friday tomorrow, so finally some peace. No, I got you on that, man. Have a good one. Take it easy, dude. All right. God, this is awesome. I do want to kind of like mess with the overall gain staging of this. Where are we at? Yeah, we are in the positive right here. We need to change that. All right. So, let's bring our mixer down here. Let's, I always just like to do it like this. I just highlight everything. Boop. You see? And then now I can just go, by how much? We need at least 4, but we want headroom as well. Let's call it like 8 or 10 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 9, maybe 10. There we go. Okay. Now I invite you guys to turn your headphones up, to a comfortable volume, whatever's comfortable to you. And I just turned mine up. And I can speak a little bit more softly. Welcome to TapDaddy Radio. All right, let's give this a listen now. We're just listening for gain staging. We're gonna try to bring things up, whatever we feel needs to bring up, Strings are coming up. It's coming up. I'm like, why is everything? I'm like, this sounds so different. I'm a fucking idiot, guys. I just wanted to point out to all of you that I'm a fucking dumbass. I was like bringing up those strings, okay? But guess what? Everything is highlighted right now. So I just brought everything up. I'm an idiot. All right. How much did I bring everything up by? I don't know. Let's go back, see our max peak value. I was like, this is sounding really good. Dude, I'm such an idiot sometimes. I think we got plenty of room here. That up. Okay. Oh, and you know what? We're going to get rid of this guy. So this was boosted 3 decibels and we monoed that, but I don't think we want to mono it. I don't think we do. We will play around with the panning of it, though. So that's like very far to the right. I want this more center. It's not going to be dead center. So what are we doing here? Are we going to swap it and scoot it right, or are we going to keep it and scoot it left? And I think really what we need to think about is this is going to have to lean one way or another. It's going to have to lean left or right. It's not going to be dead center. This is how it is linked to the right. Boy, and I think this leans a little bit to the left. This piano leans a little bit to the right. Where's this leaning? This is far right. Too loud now. Let's make sure that that bottom note is absolutely at its peak. There we go. Excuse me. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm going to highlight all of the velocities of these guys, and we're going to bring them down a little bit to make them a little bit quieter than that bottom note. We want that bottom note to be strong. Let's go down even further. We're getting crazy with it, guys. Let's actually bring this like this. It sounds pretty steady, honestly. I wish I was getting a little bit more dynamic out of that. Let's try to go crazy. We don't have any compression on it, do we? No. I just don't think that bottom note's gonna come out loud. I mean, I'm convinced. Is this even doing anything? I'm like what if we... Oh, what is this doing? Dude. It's kind of frustrating. That's okay. We might just do this. I'll show you guys. We're gonna pull out our utility and we're gonna create our own kind of swells and whatnot. So then we want it to start relatively quiet. Maybe not that quiet. I feel like, do we want to do like some kind of micro dynamics in here, like goes up at like 2 decibels and it kind of swells down. Yeah, and then we kind of keep it moving a little further up. Yeah, and then you see, we want it to kind of come down a little bit. And we start to increase. Oh yeah. See, this is where it's gonna start to get a little bit louder. Right over here. And this is immediately going to start kind of going down like this. And then we really hit this a little bit higher. And this increases over time. Oh, maybe that would be pretty sick. It's a little bit much, right? But like, I don't know. I feel like this is the sort of like mixing I don't typically get a chance to do when it comes to like, you know, I mix down so much rap music. This sort of orchestral mixing where you're like really trying to automate the dynamic swells of string sections is so fucking cool. And imagine how even cooler it could be if you literally had like 20 different string instruments that you have complete control over. That's the beauty of like orchestral mixing. I've seen people do insane automations with theirs. And you know, it looks like what I'm doing with it, like this rough pencil kind of stuff, right? But it works. It sounds cool. Like, I don't know. For anybody that's trying to do orchestral stuff, like try to get hands on like that with your dynamics. I think you'll be very happy. I don't know, though. It's a little bit much. We might turn the overall volume of this down. Is this... We might need to preserve our dynamics a little bit more. this needs to like kind of jump down, maybe like about here. Yeah, let's be cool with this. That might be a little bit much. Let's also make this more like concave, like from this direction. So it's a little bit more of a swell. Yeah, okay. And I think we need to bring down the overall height of that, but let's try to not ruin this beautiful swell. Yeah, something like this. I just don't know. I think in my mind I was thinking a swell on that low end would be cool, but in practice that just becomes very low end heavy, you know? I think I'm trying too much here. I think I need to be a little bit more subtle with what I'm doing. Very, very subtle. Yeah, let's keep it subtle. Let's not let this get out of hand, right? Much gentler. That actually worked a lot better, right? Yeah. Just gently lift it at the end there. Gently lifting it. Ah, yeah. That's good. That's good. Might want to take up just like, so these guys, I've got this purity. This is literally the first impression. So like this is the default. I actually use this a lot. What I love is this sound, first impression. It's basically a very MIDI sounding like piano and string layered on top of each other. And then I like blast it through some OTT to really like, you know, and dude, it sounds so cool. I mean, listen to this. Like, that's cool, man. Abraham, how's it going, dude? Yeah, he says currently 3:50 a.m. here in the Philippines. I make beats for fun. I just want to say you make beats with an excellent vibe. Hey, thank you so much, man. Yeah, he says keep going, sir. Thank you for dropping some knowledge in producing. 10 out of 10. Hey, 10 out of 10 chat. I appreciate you, man. Whoops, I'm spilling coffee here. But yeah, no, shout out to you, man. Thank you. Thank you. That really makes my day. Ah, hell yeah. That really makes me happy. Let's see. We got a couple other strings in here that we could kind of do some of that automation with. Really, though, I'm more concerned with gain staging at the moment, right? Man. Okay, at the very least, I want this note on this top string to have a similar swell to this guy over here. Let's just start automating this guy. Now, this top note over here, you know, just for visual sake, we're going to bring this guy down here because really this is aligning with this sample. This is a string sample. I just got this shit from Splice, you know, not overthinking it. I just love this string sample. Yeah, this string sample. It's just Splice. I like this, you know, I used it. But basically what we did is we had our own top line that paired with this. So I think really the game plan is we might kind of match some of the dynamic range, you know. Oh, I already grabbed one over here. So I'm thinking, okay, so it already has this natural kind of swell just built into this plugin, right? We might kind of double down on this. So like, let's, and then I think I might want like for it to come down. Kind of follow the swell down here. And this will kind of come up-ish. And then somewhere over here, we're gonna like kind of drop it down, but immediately kind of pop this up, right? Same with like right here. We might kind of drop this down and pop this up. It's a way too loud of an increase there, but that's the idea though. And I think this can kind of wane, right? We can kind of bring that down. Yeah, and this guy I think is going to like something that kind of looks like this, right? And maybe we start to curve it upwards like right around here, right? And we're gonna drop that down. Let's bring this down though. We're gonna have this kind of go down, up. I kind of want to hold that steady. Now that has trouble kind of coming through. We're going to have to kind of bring this up like right over here and immediately kind of have this come down. Yeah. We'll have this kind of wane. Just making this up as I go, you know? We're just trying to kind of make this feel a little bit more swelly. I don't know. Okay. So bring that up to about 4. Bring this down like over here, but this is where we have a little bit of fun. Let's try like a pretty dramatic swell there. Oh, that's almost too much, but it's like, it's sounding cool though. I'll tell you what, because I like the range of that dynamic. We're going to have this wane a little bit more. And we'll have, yeah, 10 dBs, I think, about really how far I'm willing to let this go. Might even have that come down a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Oh, dude. Okay. Nice. Goddamn. Okay. Now that we've done all of this automation between this guy and this guy, let's just make sure that we like the gain staging of it. Just see kind of like where it's positioned, how we like it, you know? I think we can actually turn this down a bit. Oh, beautiful. All right. Yeah, I think I wanted to bring this guy up a smidge. Very nice. God damn, man. This is sounding good. Let's hear this back from the beginning and just kind of have a top-down overview of like, where's our gain staging at? Do we still like it? We've made a couple of changes here. You guys will notice like gain staging. This is something that I do pretty much every so often, especially after I make changes. Usually you're going to be affecting the overall balance of things as you change things, right? You know, I always encourage you guys to like start off with a proper gain staging, just really looking at things and shoving things around, you know. But after you do stuff like you automate dynamics, or maybe you do some EQing, or maybe you do some compression, or whatever it may be, maybe you pan it to the side a bit, just like there's always good, like these are all good times that you should like maybe look back, do a little bit more extra gain staging, right? So let's just listen back, see if we need to nudge anything up or down. I was gonna play with some compression on the drums, that's right. I think we were thinking a little bit of LA2A. These guitars I think could come up. And there's quite a bit of dynamic in this. Let's maybe squash it a little bit. I think I'm going to do some compression after this reverb. What's up, Mars? How's it going, dude? It's good to see you, man. How's your day going? Yeah, this just feels a lot more defined now. Now that we've kind of normalized the volume a little bit more, we've kind of squished the volume, but you'll notice that it did jump up in volume. We're just kind of bringing down the ceiling a little bit. We kind of raised the floor here by like 3 dB, but we also brought down the ceiling by like a decent amount. Like there, it brings the ceiling down by like 3 dB. There, it brings the ceiling down by about 5. That's good. But yeah, Mars says, it's cool. I had to do some gardening to flush up the front a bit. Oh, that's nice. Hell yeah, man. What kind of stuff you putting in your garden? That's awesome, man. I've been living in an apartment for years. I wish I had the space for some gardening. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having a nice little greenery area. Yeah, this is a slower tune. It's the heartbreak song, man. This is the last track that I've had to mix down for my new album, The Low Key Plan. Oh, that's so beautiful. All right. And wow, we got room on the main. Yeah, we got about 6 decibels of headroom. Guys, I think it might be about time to start thinking about mastering, but I did want to real quickly kind of go back to the drums, play around with a smidge of some LA on these drums, and I think I'm going to do it after all of these reverbs to kind of lift the reverb tails and, you know, hopefully add a little bit of liveliness to it, you know. So, should be good. Should be good. But yeah, Mars says, planted a bottle brush and some flowers around a circle where it had African irises. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. God damn. I feel like the last time that, I guess I've never really had a garden, but I just remember my mom having a garden, and like that was something that she spent a lot of time on as a kid. One day I'll be rich enough to have a garden. Okay, let's start with the LA2A. This is like way too much. Now, with this, I think we are going to choose to bring down these reverbs a little bit, you know? Let's get super played up. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, Mars says, I had an Australian tree fern that I had carried with me for years after college when I was moving from place to place. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, you like the vinyl noise? Yeah, dude, this is coming together. It feels very texturized, doesn't it? But yeah, I grew a pineapple once. I used to grow marijuana. It's legal where I'm from, by the way, but I used to grow weed, so I took care of quite a few marijuana plants, and it's the exact same climate as a pineapple, so I decided to grow a pineapple. It was pretty cool, you know. It really did not look like the nicest pineapple, though. It was interesting. It's like sitting next to a fireplace. Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's just do one last double over. Now that we've really changed these drums, we're going to be thinking, yeah, Hawaii. Yeah, exactly. It's like a very similar climate to what you would like grow marijuana in. So we had like an indoor grow, 6 plants. It was pretty fun, honestly. I was in college for computer science, but part of being in computer science is you had to take like other types of science courses. I had a buddy that was a horticultural business major, so he was like really into plants, and we just grew some marijuana together. I also took a plant science class with him, and it was just so much fun, man. I don't know, I really got into plants for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I might turn down the drums a bit. Okay, I think we're in a good spot here. I love that little swell at the end. That was such a good detail. I liked that. Hell yeah. Thank you, Mars. I appreciate it, man. Okay, and also last thing I want to do, you'll see we have this fade out at the end here. Now, I like to do my fade outs kind of starting curvy and then turning linear. I don't know. I just feel like it feels like a more full sounding fade out. So I'll show you what I do. I do like -1 decibel followed up by -3 decibels. Come on, get your butt up there. There we go. All right. And then we follow that up with -6. We're just doubling the decibels. And then we just let it ride from -6. You see, so I get this nice curve down. I feel like this to me feels much better than just like a flat line. It feels a little bit more full, but it, kind of turns linear on the second half. So yeah, what's up, Signature? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Glad you could pop in, man. You got here just in time for the mastering process. I think we're going to do one last check through of the mix, and I think we are going to try to see where our max peak value is at. I think it was at about -6. We'll see if we're still around there. We just added like compression to the drums. Yeah, let's see where we're at. Yeah, we're doing a sad song today. Wow, so after our second round of gain staging, we actually came down a decibel. We're at -7 decibels for our max peak. That's so much room. Hell yeah, thank you, Signature. Yeah, hope you're doing well as well. Oh, man. Yeah, no, we're having a good day. This is the last song that I have to mix and master for my upcoming album, The Low Key Plan. And then it's just like a few revisions on the album, but then I'm shipping it. And it's going to come out on Bandcamp. And then about a month later, it's going to drop on platforms. And I'm just like, man, it has been a little over a year since I dropped my last album. I'm just so excited to show people, you know? It's going to be a good one. All right. I think we're sounding really good here. I think what I want to do next, we're going to begin the mastering process. I want to bring on Shadow Hill's mastering compressor. We're going to compress first, and then we'll worry about getting it close to 0, you know. But yeah. Do you have your OEN label? What do you mean by that? Your own label? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, so technically, yes. Technically, I release under TapDaddy Records is the name of my label, and it is mine. Yeah. Really, what that means, though, is I have a DistroKid plan. Yay, you know? So, yeah, I technically do have my own label. And, you know, actually, before we dive into mastering, I want to just give you guys a little bit of a top-down view of everything that I do under the name TapDaddyBeats. So, of course, I am TapDaddy on all platforms, and you guys can see, like, I release under my own label, TapDaddy Records, right? Now, I think in the future, I'm hoping to branch out and maybe collab with, you know, larger and larger instrumental artists. And in fact, I've got a few collabs lined up right now, and I'm super excited for you guys to see who I'm collabing with and to hear them, right? And also, I think what's going to be very useful is like, so my wife curates a lot of these really awesome playlists. If you guys haven't seen, like, Jazz and Chill Morning Hip Hop, this is one of my wife's playlists. She is actually an official curator on Playlist Push. If you guys have ever used the service Playlist Push, there's a chance your music may have been shopped by my wife, you know? She's an amazing curator, by the way. I'm going to drop just a link if you guys wanted to, like, check out that playlist. But basically, it's like, you know, we've been building lots of playlists and whatnot. So we have really good ways of, like, delivering music to people. And it's also just really useful for collaboration and just, you know, being able to algorithmically kind of get our music in with the right crowd. You know, that's very nice. Now, aside from that, you know, I'm also like selling beats and doing mixing services. So like I've got, you know, TapDaddyBeats.beatstars.com. And so, I don't know, it kind of is like your definition of a label, right? We have the means to distribute music. We have the means to promote music. We have the means to produce and mix and master music. I don't know, what else does a label do? I suppose at the end of the day, maybe a label would do all these things for a huge slew of people, right? And I do work with other artists in terms of, you know, producing for other people's discography and mixing down other people's music, which, by the way, if anybody needs any mixing services or if you would like to be, for me to be a producer on your next project, yeah, just email me. I've got my email listed in the description below. You guys are welcome to email me. I'd love to work on your guys' music. Yeah, you see, Marge says that's a label. Okay, so then it's official. TapDaddy Records. That's my label. Yeah, you know, honestly, and that's kind of the dream. I would love to really build this out. This has been really, I mean, it's just been a wonderful way to, you know, get my music out to the people and I'm so grateful that I have a lot of listeners, people that, you know, really care about this music as much as I do. But yeah, I don't know. I think long term, I would love to do this not only for myself but for a lot of artists, and we'll just see. I haven't really opened the doors on TapDaddy Records yet, but long term goals, you know, long term goals. I think that really is the goal, and we're inching and kind of scooting into place, kind of the. You know, we're getting the business down, right? So it's cool stuff, man. All right, let's compress this. Let's do something awesome here. Let's make this sound beautiful. All right, and turn sidechain on. Oh, beautiful. Now, I feel like as soon as I put compression on the master, I start to reevaluate my gain staging, you know? Start to reevaluate the loudness of certain aspects because, you know, we're starting to squish the dynamics, and I feel like sometimes that kind of reveals a little bit about the pecking order of how loud things are, right? So something that I'm kind of noticing here is I actually would really like for this lower double bass to be just like a little bit louder, and I'm going to do something very naughty here. I usually tell you guys don't do this with anything on your master chain, but I am going to just nudge this up with the compression on. I like the sound of the compression here, but yeah, I want to just nudge this up. Yeah. Now, I think this needs to come up a bit. Okay. There we go. This note is a little bit loud. I think this note needs to come down just like a bit. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just highlight this, and then I'm going to say, like, let's bring that down. And I actually like that this is going to nudge up a little bit. But let's also put a point in here, like this guy, and we're going to just step that down a little bit. Yeah, okay. That's sounding good. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, man. That is awesome. Oh, yo. Sick. Okay. Let's get a little bit of a sense of where our max peak is. and also just kind of reevaluate how this is sounding. Let me full screen this again, sorry. Totally immersed in this song right now, just chill. I'd love to hear that, man. I'd really love to hear that. Oh. Okay, we're looking at this max peak over here on the right side. Yes, okay. It's looking like a max peak of minus 4.43. We're going to try to bring this up a little bit. Now, if I boost it by 4, it's still a question because this Shadow Hills compressor is a little unpredictable at times. I want to try to boost it by 4, get it close to 0 before we send it into the maximizer. And we're going to just see if it stays under our max peak value of 0. But yeah, he says that sweep reminds me of a plane taking off. Fair enough. No, I kind of get it. Yeah. All right, let's check this. Let's again, I feel like this is so much of just mastering is like listen to the song all the way through. Listen to the song all the way through. Let's hear this again. God, I'm glad I compressed that snare. That sounds cool. Yes. Oh man, this is so beautiful. All right. So, by the way, if you were curious what that sweep actually is, and I'm assuming you might be talking about this I don't know, is that what you were talking about, or were you talking about the string section over on here? But this sound effect is actually the sound of a New York subway train coming to a stop. The brakes on it let out this almost melodic sort of pitch that I just love to sample. I've done this before. Really, really love this. It's very dramatic and dire, but really what you're hearing in the background is the sound of this train like coming to a stop. And you hear it on the tracks and everything. But it sounds kind of cool, And then I got a crazy delay on it, Yeah. So cool. All right. Sorry. I'm tooting my own horn over here, being like, oh, yes, I am so good at production. Ha. Being silly. All right. Let's bust out that maximizer. I'm going to let Ozone run some bullshit on this, and we're going to decide if we like it and probably change it. I don't know. We'll see. What section? Probably this section. Probably the string section is where we're going to run this. All right. Yeah, high. I always go for high intensity on this. I don't know. Yikes. So something totally went wrong here. Let's bring this threshold up. I probably should have run this in the section with the double bass, just so we get the full EQ range in there. Let's run that again. And this time, volume warning. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just like, yikes. I'm going to turn down my own volume. Okay, here we go. Let's run it again. Oh, what am I doing? No, this is on the wrong track. Main. Here we go. All right. What's up, Ken? How's it going, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Oh, it's doing better this time. Okay. Wow. All right. Let's get the true peak and send that to the ceiling. I find this EQ rather agreeable, but let's hear it in a couple other places. Also, we're gonna go ahead and bust out our loudness meter. This sounds pretty loud. But yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Ken. Nice. Now, the target LUFS range for this for this album is between -10 and -8 LUFS. We might need to bring this up a little bit, but I think we want to aim for the lower side of that target range. And quite honestly, if it stays at like 10.5, that I would accept that. That would be okay. This is a ballad, in this 26 track album. We kind of expect that this is going to be a little bit of a quieter one, but as you guys can tell, this is actually plenty loud, I'm thinking usually we get to this point, and rather than pulling back on this threshold, a lot of the times I will put a limiter after this and kind of push it into the ceiling a little bit more. Now, because this isn't like a hardcore like hip hop track, this isn't like hard rap music or whatever, I think I'm going to actually skip on the limiter. I think we're going to do this all with the maximizer, And really, it's just that I don't really want to like cap the ceiling too much, This is a very dynamic track. Very, very dynamic. I'm not sure I really want to squish it into the ceiling too much. So, but I think I will pull back on this threshold like a little bit. Okay. I think that's about where I want it. All right, let's I want to hear this all together though. We might kind of adjust it as we go. We'll see what our target LUFS is at. Okay. Minus 10.3. Dude, that is perfect. That's like exactly where I was hoping to land at. Yeah, minus 10.3, minus 10.4. Like I said, minus 10.5 I would accept, right? Now, the average dynamics at 10.4, I think that's very acceptable. That's kind of like where I was hoping to land in that regard. Although I will say I am kind of disappointed that I couldn't get that up to like 12 average dynamics or whatnot. But like, I look, I feel pretty confident. My mixing skills, my mastering skills are a work in progress, I would say, But it sounds great. Like, I'm really happy with this. I think now what I need to do is I need to card test this, and I need to test it within the sequence of the total album. But this really, it was the last track that I needed to fully mix down and master. Now I've got a couple of revisions left. I think I've got 2 tracks that need revisions. Out of this 26-track album, I mean, good God. I feel really good about the fact that I only have like 2 tracks that really need revisions. 2 out of 26. That is Oh, yeah. And that's actually what I plan to be doing tonight. I'm going to be kind of up late, just, hammering out revisions and hoping to ship off this album sometime this week. If not, Tuesday at the latest. But yeah, definitely test with the album. I agree, Mars. That's the plan. That's the wait for it. The low-key plan. No, sorry. That's such a terrible pun. I'm sorry. That's just terrible. Oh, man. God damn. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. I just wanted to remind you guys, I have an EP coming out tonight. Snack Time for Turtles. In case you didn't hear it in the beginning, Snack Time for Turtles, it is already up on Bandcamp. It drops on official platforms tonight, midnight. Here, get your butt back here. There we go. Snack Time for Turtles, man. It's coming out at midnight tonight, and it is out right now on Bandcamp. You guys saw me mix down this album. Not only that, you guys saw me produce this album entirely on stream on this channel. I'm so happy this is dropping. There's the link to it on Bandcamp. Definitely consider, snagging this for $4 if you want to show support. If not, that is all good. It is coming out for everybody tonight at midnight, 7 hours from now, on all platforms. Here is the pre-save link on Spotify. Boom! Yeah. Super excited about this, man. It's such a celebratory track. Snack Time for Turtles. Oh, man. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is TapDaddy, and until next time, happy producing. I will see you guys later. Yeah, it's quite a feat to have accomplished on YouTube. Thank you, man. I like doing this, though. I love basically having an open window with all of you guys that you can pop in and watch me work on actual music that's gonna hit actual platforms and do actual numbers. I just think that's so much more exciting. I don't know, I think it's cool, and I think it's cool that you guys hang out and keep me company. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy Snack Time for Turtles dropping at midnight, and I will see you guys on Saturday here. I'm also going to be live on Twitch tomorrow reviewing music from subscribers. The Twitch is in the description. And as always, if you want to hire me to mix down your music or produce for you, my email is also in the description. Shoot me an email. I'd love to hear what you got cooking. So thank you guys. I will see you guys later. Peace out.